Okay. So basically, operators means in Python especially, it is a collection of symbols and special keywords. I can say that. Okay. So if you want to perform any basic operation, like it might be addition, subtraction, or comparing the two values, or assigning the value to the variable. So any operation which we want to perform in any line of execution and in any program, so we may use the operators. Okay. So in simpler words, as yesterday mentioned, right, like very simple words, a equal to 10 I written. So here 10 is the value or constant and a is the variable, and in between whatever we written, that equal is known as operator. So the a and 10 are operands, and on this the equal operator is performing. So operator is a simple symbol or keyword, so which will help you to perform a basic operation or any operation on the operands or the values or the variables, we can say that. Okay. So such kind of operators, we have different categories in the Python. So first one as a traditional one, so that is arithmetic operators. Okay. So first one arithmetic, and second one is like assignment. Third one relational. Fourth one logical. Fifth one bitwise. Sixth one membership operators. The last one, seventh one is instance operators. So these are the otherwise we call these are identity operators. Identity. Yeah. So totally seven types of operators we have in the Python. So two things, if you clearly observe that there is no increment decrement operators in the Python, like example plus plus minus minus. So that operators we don't have in the Python. And secondly, there is no conditional operator also in the Python, like question mark colon will be there, right? So why I'm telling, so these two set of operators you may observe in the C or CPP or Java, but in Python we don't have such kind of operators. Okay. So totally 7 set of operators we have. We'll see one by one what it exactly. So definitely arithmetic, majority of you already aware that. So arithmetic operators will help you to perform the basic mathematical operations or arithmetical operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication. So these all operations we can perform by using arithmetic operators. Here, along with the traditional arithmetic operators, two new special operators also given in the Python. So first one, as we know, addition for plus, subtraction minus, multiplication single star. The new operator here we got double star. So generally, if you go for single star, it's indicating multiplication in any language. But in Python, we have double star also, that indicating that power. So if you want to calculate the power of the value, we can use the double star. Okay. And similarly, we have single by for anyway, you know that division. So that is that also will give you the quotient value. Okay. So quotient value will get that. And now, but in Python, we have also double by. Okay. So single, double, both we have, but only difference is single will give you the float format quotient, and double slash will give you int format quotient. That is the only difference. Okay. And finally, we have percentile. So this is only we called mod, and this is for remainder basically. Remainder. To find the remainder, we'll have this. And double star, as I mentioned, it's called power operator. Okay. And a single star, as we know, it is multiplication. Okay. And minus is for subtraction, difference, and plus for addition. So these are the different arithmetic operators which are available in the Python. So if we consider a simple example, let's consider a equal to 10, okay, b equal to, let's take 2, okay. So now we will perform all the operations as indicating. So a plus b is indicating is a summation. So as we know, it will give you the 12. So a minus b will give you 8, 10 minus 2, that is 8. And after that, A star B is indicating 10 to the 20. And after that, A double star B is indicating A double star B means indicating A to the power of B. That means 10 square. Okay, so it indicating 10 to the power of B value. So here A is the base value, B is the power value. For example, if you want 2 to the power of 5, then A should be A should be 2, B should be 5. So B always win the power quotient. Okay. So now it is indicating A to the power of B. So now 10 square, that is indicating 100. Okay. And similarly, A by B. So as I mentioned already, which will give you quotient. So if you divide 2 with 10, so definitely it will give you the 2 5s are 10. So now it will give you the, but it in terms of floats. So now you will get 5.0. Okay. But if I'm using same A by B, double B, so it will give you only 5. That's the difference. Okay. And finally, A percentile B. So if I'm dividing A with B, the above operators will give you the quotient value and the module will give you the remainder. So anyway, 10 divided by 2 will give you the remainder as a 0. So likewise, if you want to calculate any basic mathematical values, we can use these operators in the Python. Okay. So these are all called arithmetical operators and basic, mathematical operators, we can say that. Okay. So any doubt till the point, please ask me. Otherwise, we'll go for next operators. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, good. And now coming to the assignment operators. Okay. So assignment operator will help you to store the data into the variables basically. Like whenever you want to store some data into the variables, like example A equal to 10. Here what 10 is, what equal is doing 10, we are going to be storing in the A variable. A is a variable. In that variable, we are storing the value called 10. So likewise, if you want to store some data into the variables or objects, then we can use assignment operators. So here the first very traditional operator will be equal, so which is used to store the data. But along with the equal, you can append this equal with all these arithmetic operators to make it shorthand notations. Like example, plus is equal to, minus is equal to, or star equal to. Likewise, whatever we have, what we can say that arithmetic operators, everything combine them. So I will give you a simple example. So A equal to 10, if I'm writing, it indicating A equal to 10 now. If I'm writing again A equal to 20, now the final value will be 20, not the 10, because you are replacing the existing value with the new value called 20. So now finally A value will be 20, not the 10, because we are replacing. But in the same place, if I'm writing A plus is equal to, let's example 30. Now in this case, A will be not 30, because the plus equal to is telling that whatever the new value we are mentioning, that will be assigned to the existing value. It is not replacing to the existing value. That means in this line, as I mentioned, the 20 is replacing with 10. Okay, but in this place, the 30 is not replacing 20. The 30 will add it to the 20. That means here the result will be 50. Okay, so here the result will be now A value will be 50, not the 30. So likewise, if you want to do some mathematical operation on existing value, so it means, so in this case, we can also write the simple way A equal to A plus 30. So if you are using the left and right same variable, instead of writing double time, you can write like this shortcut. Okay. Similarly, for example, if I want to write A equal to A double star 10, assume that. Now instead of this, we can write simply A double star equal to 10, we can write. So likewise, we can use the shorthand notation, the combination of equal with what we called arithmetical operators. Okay. So the first point, assignment operator will help you to store the data into the variables, and the assignment operator we call the single equal, and the single equal will also combinedly work with all arithmetic operators. We call that a shorthand notations to store to perform the mathematical operation on the same value. Okay, so till this point, any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, good. And the third one, relational operators. Okay, so these are all simple ones only. You may have regular daily basis also. Okay, so relational operators indicating are used to compare the two values or variables basically. So whenever you want to compare two values or variables, we may use the relational operators. Like example, less than, comma, less than equal, comma, greater than, comma, greater than equal to, comma, equal to, not equal to. These are all called relational operators. Means these operators will help you to compare the two values or variables, whether they are equal or not, whether they are big or small, or whether they are smaller than equal. Likewise, to compare them. So the relation we can establish between the two variables or values. So that's why we call these are relational operator. Like example, a greater than b. So now it will tell based on the data whether the A greater than B or not. But here very important point, these all operators will return the Boolean value called true or false at any time. So when you are using this relational operator, or we technically other word also sometimes use conditional operator. So condition, I mean that to check the condition, we can say that. But these operators will return the either true or false based on the inputs. So for example, in this case, if I'm using a equal to 10 and b equal to 20, now our case will be returns false. But if I'm same thing, if I'm giving a equal to 100, now our case will return the true. So that means it is not always returning the either true or false. It depends on the inputs what we provided. So based on the inputs, it may return the true or it may return the false. But most of the times, these relational operators we will be using in the either conditional statements or looping statements. That means if else and for loop basically. Okay, while loops basically. So whenever we want to check any condition to be verified, like whether it is a true or false, or whether we want to repeat the logic for next time or not. So to check such kind of conditions, we may use this relational operator mostly. Okay, any doubt as of now? Any doubt till the relational operators?
No, sir.
Okay, now here I just want to highlight one thing. So that is equal, double equal versus single equal. Okay, so just be cautious about using this operator. So double equal is used to verify whether two values are equal, sorry, equal or not. It means if I'm using double equal to b, that means we are asking the question whether a and b are equal or not. So if both are equal, it returns true. Otherwise, it returns false basically. But in the second case, if I'm using a equal to b, it returns always true. Why? Because here the operation is happening called assignment. Okay, not comparison. So in above case, we are comparing two values are equal or not. But in this case, we are just assigning the b value into the a, and it returns always true. So that means instead of double equal or single equal, if you are using in interchangingly, it changes the meaning of the execution. So be cautious. In conditional statements, always we should use double equal, and in the storage purpose, we will use the single equal. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So now the fourth category we have here is logical operators. So logical operators which will help to combine the two or more conditions in the single statement. So like example, you want to check the two conditions at a time, and based on the result of the both the conditions you want to execute. Assume that there is a and b value, and if both are more than 100 only, sorry, if both are more than 100 only, you want to run something. So in that case, we can't check only a greater than 100 or b greater than 100. We have to check both the values at a time, right? So in that case, we will use the logical. Like we have three types: and, or, not. So these are the keywords here, not the symbols. If you see above all, what we used all are symbols. Okay, But logical operators are not the keywords here. So not the symbols. Like if you go for other languages, you may use a double ampersand and double pipe symbol, like that you can use. Okay, but in Python we have keywords, not the symbols. So we have to use a and end for logical and logical or. Like if you want to pass both conditions to be true, then we have to use the end. Like in this case, both conditions should be true, then only the result will be true. In all other cases it will be false, like false true, true false, or false false, whatever the case, it will be false only. Similarly, our case, as you know, either or, like that might be that means in both of the conditions at least one will be true, that is sufficient to make it execute. Like in this case, if both are false, then only false, remaining all cases it will be true only. Okay, that means if you have two conditions and both are passed, or either of that passed, that is okay to pass. But if both are failed, then only the execution will be stopped. And final not means, reverse. False will be converted as a true, true will be converted as a false. Okay. So the ideal point is, like if you want to check both conditions, at a example, I want to check whether A is more than B and C. In that case, I can write A greater than B and A greater than C. So it means that A should be more than B and C. If none of that happened, like if A is less than B or A is less than C, then this condition failed. It should be more than both B and C. Similarly, A equal to 0 and B equal to 0. What it means? A and B should be 0. If none of that 0, the condition will fail. So likewise, if you want to execute all the conditions has to be true in your logic, then we should use AND. If either of the conditions is true, that means any of the condition true, then it's okay to continue the execution. Then we can go with our condition. Like example, uname is equal to admin, sorry, or mobile number is equal to 9010990288. Assume that. So it means if user entered username as either admin or mobile number as 9010, then that will be passed. So he may enter both also, it is okay. But either of that, at least one should be passed, that is enough to continue the execution. So likewise, logical operators, we may combine more than one condition to execute in any program. So any doubt till this point?
No, sir.
Okay, good. So I'm just giving 2 minutes time to recollect everything. Just go through that. So first one, we explained arithmetic, assignment, relational, and logical. Maybe take 2 minutes of time. If you have any doubt, please ask me. Otherwise, I will go with other three types.
Sir, if you don't mind, could you repeat again logical operator?
Yeah, sure. So basically, logical operators are help us to combine the conditions. Okay. So like example, second. Yeah. That means I will tell you one more example. Login case, if you take in login, we may enter the username and password. Okay. So in that case, both username and password should be valid. If none of the, I mean, either of that, if it is not valid, it has to show that invalid credentials. Okay. So in that case, we should use an operator called AND. That means username should be valid and password should be valid. The condition like that we have to write. So if you want to combine the two conditions based on your requirement, it may be both should be true or any of the true. If both should be true, if you require, you have to use a logical operator called AND. One of that should be true, then you should use the operator called OR. But the ideal scenario here is to combine two conditions. Like if you see here this is the one condition and this is another condition. Now you want to combine them as a single line. As a single line you want to combine. Now in this case, we will use a separator called logical operator. So it will help you to combine two or more conditions. Like here also you can use it. It's not like two only. You can write like and C equal to 0. It means all A and B and C should be 0 in this case. Then only the line of execution will be executed. And remember, all these logical and relational operators will be used in the conditional statements and looping statements. Okay, and independently, we may not use this all the operators like relational logical mainly. So always in the if else or for loop or while loop only we use these things. Okay. Yeah, I hope you clear now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And now the next one, very limited usage in the real time, like in our programming concept, we may not use. Mostly in embedded systems or hardware devices, we use the bitwise operators like and we have or okay, cap and till, not, left shift and right shift. So basically these are the bitwise operators. It means these operators will work on binary format. So whatever the values we are giving internally, it will convert into the binary, and on the binary values these operators will perform. So that means like when you are using any smart device like AC, refrigerator, so in that also there will be a small chip, right? So, but that will be hardware. So we can't execute directly our programs on the hardware. So to make sure that run on the hardwares, we use the binary language. I mean to say bitwise operators to perform the operation. Like example, AND gate, NOR gate we have, right? Electronic gates. So that symbolic formats only this one. AND means both bits. If both bits are 1, then only the result will be 1. Other case it will be 0. And R means both are 0, then only 0, remaining all are 1. So likewise, and tilde means negation, no, XOR. So likewise we have different but just I'm high level telling, but bitwise operators to make it understand will run execute and show that. But till still I will tell you a simple example to make to understand. Let's take example, you written 2 ampersand 3, you written, assume that. Okay, how the result will be calculated? First, whatever the value we have, that will be converted into binary format first. So generally, if it is 64-bit, that will convert into 64-bit. If it is 32-bit, likewise it will convert. Just imagine that we are using 4-bit machine. Just imagine 4 bits. So now in that case, the 2 will be converted as a generally 0010. This is the symbolic format of the 2 actually. 2 power 0, 2 power 1 like that. Okay. And 3 will be indicated 0011 because 3 means 2 power 0, 2 power 1. These two you can add it. Okay. And now AND operation, how it will perform? So as I mentioned, AND means if both are ones, then only 1. Now you see 0, 1, it will be 0, 1, 1, 1, no, remaining all are 0. So the result will be 0, 0, 1, 0. This is the result for the AND operator. So likewise, the AND operator will work internally, basically. Okay. So internally, whatever the values we provided to the operator will convert into binary format based on your processor. So that's why this bitwise operator are your processor dependable. It means if your processor 32-bit, the result will be different, and if your processor will be 64-bit, the result will be differently will come. Okay. So based on the processor size, the bits will be converted and it will be used in processed in the application. Okay. But anyway, as I mentioned, right, in our programming language, I mean to say software development or web application development, we never use this particular bitwise operators. We may use only arithmetic. And coming to the sixth, this is the special operators, the 6 and 7. These two are not in other languages. These are newly given in the Python. So membership operators are also keywords that are indicating in, not in. Similarly, identity operators we call is not. Okay. So these operators will help you to check the special case. Like if you see the name itself is telling whether it is used to check that. So whether the value in collection or not, collection or not. So this in operator or not in operator, basically we use it for checking that whether the given value is in the collection or not. Collection means, as we mentioned yesterday, list, collection, dictionary, or tuple, set. There is a, just like in simpler words, if you can say that, array. Okay. So if x is there in the list or not, you want to check it. So then we can use like x in li. Assume that. So it indicating that it is showing a question mark that whether X in Li. If it is X in Li, then it returns true. If it is there, if it is not there, it returns false. These are also conditional operators only. I mean to say it will also return the either true or false basically. So in and not in are used to check that membership. That means whether that value is in the respective object or collection or not. In Python we can validate using in and not in operators. So in always tell that whether it is there or not. Is it clear the in uses? It's like a search. Okay, it will search in the collection. If it is there or not, it will tell you in terms of Boolean value. Membership operator is clear for you?
Yes, sir.
Good. Now identity operator, the name itself is telling identity means it will check the identity of the data. I mean to say whether the particular value belongs to the respective object or not, it will verify, or is it indicating the same memory or object or not, it will generally indicating. And also very important, many people are asking also what is the difference between double equal versus is. By showing simple example I will tell you. Okay, let's take example a equal to 10, 20, 30 is there as a list of values. Three are there that are 10, 20, 30. Okay, now we have b also have the same 10, 20, 30. Assume that. Okay, in this case if I'm asking a double equal to b to the system, I'm asking that whether a and b are equal or not. Now the system will tell you as a true, because in both the collections having the same data, I mean to say same values. So by this what I'm concluding, double equal to operator will compare the internal data whether it is same or not. Example, if I'm having the 40, in this case it returns the false because both are different data. So now in this case both are having same data, that's why it will return true. But in same example, if I'm writing A is B, so what it is asking is means A is also same as B is asking. Okay, but it's not asking whether the internal data same or not. B itself is same as A or not. So it is meaning that A and B stored in the same place or not, checking that. But here if you see, we define two different variables. A is a different variable and B is a different variable. That means for both variables memory will be allocated in different places. Okay, so different memory locations. So that's why it returns false, because the A and B are not pointing to same memory, they are pointing to different memory. But in the same example I will return differently. 10, 20, 30. Now I'm writing B equal to A. I'm copy that A into B. I'm copying A into B. I'm not separately creating B as a separate data. Just I'm taking the A reference only as a B. Now in this case, if I'm using A equal to B, it returns true because in both A and B having the same data. Similarly, if you are asking A is B, it also will give you the true only, because here I'm not separately creating B. I'm storing A into B. That means A and B are referring the same memory. So that is the difference between double equal and is. So is will check that whether that object same or not. Okay. Similarly, A equal to 10 is there. Now you want to check A is an integer or not. Okay. So now in this case also we can write A is, sorry, not A, type of A, because A is value. So type of A, what it will give you generally? Int. So now if you want to check that, like this we can ask it. So now it returns true because anyway 10 is the integer. So is will used for this kind of comparison, like reference comparison. Okay, not for comparing the values. Any doubt as of now? But
No, sir.
most of the times we may confuse these operators like equal, double equal, and is and double equal, and also single star, double star, single by, double by. So just if you I mean the clear with that simple things, we may clear with the execution process. So whenever somebody asks you an interview, or sometimes interview also they will ask like what is the difference between by and percentile, or they will ask like what is the difference between double equal and is, why we use the two different operators. So that we need to clear the small things so you can easily explain that. Okay, but these are the all the operators what we have in the Python to perform all the operations with respect to both keywords and symbols. So based on your requirement in the program, you may choose any of the list of the operators, you can execute them. But these are all the set of operators what we have in the Python. And obviously, as I mentioned, right? So very importantly, to use these all operator in your daily programming, we should also know that, as we know, statement writing, that is conditional looping statements. If you know the two things, yes, we are in the place of writing the programs, so we can start writing the programs as much as possible. Okay, but as I mentioned already, so these are the basic set of operators. So in this, if you observe that, identity operators, membership operators, logical operators, and relational operators, so these are all operators belongs to conditional. That means these are all operators ultimately will return the either true and false only. So if the condition success, it returns true. If the condition fail, it will return the false. So these are all based on the if and else only we can use them. That means in the conditional statements we can use them. But to first two things like relation assignment operator and arithmetic operators, these operators we can use directly even without conditional statement. So that's why first, we will have some basic examples using these arithmetic operators and assignment operators, and then I will cover the conditional statements like if else. And as I mentioned, in Python, we don't have multiple types of conditional statements like switch, if else, like that. So only we have if else. That's it. That means if combination only. So if you are have the condition, go with if only. There is no switch in the Python. Okay, but that two things will cover tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow we'll cover examples on arithmetic operators, assignment operators, and introduction on conditional statements. Okay, or else tomorrow we'll spend full-time examples with as whatever we covered so far, like with the different, I mean to say, practical class, I can say that, like examples on arithmetic operators, and we have covered typecasting, and also we covered like variables, what are the different types of variables we have. So that all different examples will cover. So maybe while covering examples we may cover some points, and the day after tomorrow we may spend with the conditional. That's better. Conditional statement separately I will take one class, and where I can spend some examples. Okay, so any questions as of now? And please do the practice, and tomorrow onwards we'll start practical. So from tomorrow you can start practice using Python, and as I mentioned, tomorrow also I will show you GitHub connectivity. So I will create the one repository in the GitHub, and I will clone that, and I will use it. Okay, fine then. Not hearing anything.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay, sir.
Happy New Year once
Bye,
again.
sir.
Happy New Year, Andrew. Yeah, thank you. Bye bye.
Same to you, sir. Thank you, sir. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Have a good day, sir.